Among the endless stories of Mahabharata, we all know about Draupadi, the shared queen of Pandavas. We remember Subhadra, mother of Abhimanyu. But do you remember Ulupi, a serpent princess, a woman from the hidden world of the Nagas, a warrior who changed the fate of Arjun, and perhaps someone without whom the Pandavas would have never won the Kurukshetra war? Today we uncover the forgotten tale of Ulupi, the daughter of the serpent king Kauravya, and the silent role she played in shaping India's greatest epic. And unlike Barbaric, whose story comes from Puranic and folk traditions, Ulupi is very much part of Vyasa's Mahabharata. She appears first in the Adi Parv, where she marries Arjun and bears him a son Iravan, and later in the Ashwamedika Parv, where she revives Arjun after Babru Vahana kills him. Arjun once broke a rule. During the Pandavas' stay in Indraprastha, he entered the private chamber of Yudhishthir and Draupadi. The brothers had vowed not to disturb each other when they were with Draupadi, and Arjun entered only to retrieve his weapons. But a vow is a vow. As punishment, Arjun exiled himself for 12 years. He left Indraprastha, wandering alone. His journey took him to forests, mountains, and eventually to the banks of the holy Ganga. It was there that destiny introduced him to a new world, beneath the waters. One evening, Arjun was bathing in Ganga. Suddenly, he felt a force pulling him down, and before he could do anything, he was dragged deep inside the river. When he opened his eyes, he found himself in a glittering palace beneath the waters. Jewels shone like stars, and serpents guarded every gate. And standing before him was Ulupi, the serpent princess. She was fearless, radiant, and direct. She said, Arjun, I have heard about your valor. I desire you as my husband. Arjun hesitated. He reminded her of his vows, of his exile, and his dharma. But Ulupi smiled. I know your vows. None forbid you from being with me. And it is destiny, Arjun, for without me, your future will not be complete. Her conviction, her beauty, and perhaps the fate itself overcame his hesitation. Arjun accepted her, and that night, Ulupi became his wife. And from their union was born a son, Iravan. Iravan would grow up to be a brave warrior, one who later fought in the Kurukshetra war. But Ulupi, she was not a woman who would cling. She released Arjun the very next day. Go, she said, fulfill your destiny. You will always have a place in my heart, and our son will one day fight beside you. And just like that, Arjun left the underwater palace, and Ulupi disappeared from the story for years. But destiny was not done with her yet. Time passed, the Kurukshetra war raged. Arjun became the central hero. But on the ninth and the 10th days, he faced an impossible opponent, Bhishma Pitama. Bhishma was undefeatable. He had the boon to choose the time of his death. Each day, he cut down Pandav soldiers in thousands. Even Arjun hesitated before him. On the 10th day, Bhagwan Krishna, who was Arjun's charioteer, grew impatient. He lifted a wheel like a weapon, ready to break his vow of not fighting. But Arjun stopped him. And Bhishma saw all this and blessed Arjun. But still, Bhishma's fall seemed impossible. And then came Ulupi's moment. She returned quietly, approaching Arjun, and she whispered, Do you remember me? Arjun was stunned. Ulupi revealed that her father Kauravya and the Nags were also suffering because of the war. She gave Arjun a secret. The only way Bhishma would be brought down was if Arjun placed Shikhandi before him, and Bhishma, bound by his principles, would not fight a woman or anyone he considered one. So it was Ulupi who guided Arjun towards this strategy, giving him the courage to finally defeat his granduncle. The war shifted from that day onwards. But Ulupi's role did not end there. After the war, when Ashwathama released the deadly Brahmastra weapon, the Pandavas' lineage was nearly destroyed. Parikshit, the unborn child of Abhimanyu, was almost killed in Uttara's womb. Only Bhagwan Krishna's divine intervention saved him. But another curse haunted Arjun. During the war, he had slain Bhishma unfairly using Shikhandi as cover. And for this, the Vasus, the celestial beings, cursed Arjun that he would one day be slain by his own son. And here again, Ulupi stepped forward. When Babur Vahana, Arjun's son from Chitraganda, unknowingly fought and killed his father in Manipura, it was Ulupi who intervened. With her knowledge of the Nagas and her mystical powers, she revived Arjun back to life using Nag gem or the Nag Mani. Now think of that for a moment. The woman who once abducted Arjun, who bore his child, who disappeared silently, became the one to restore his very life. So, what do we make of Ulupi? She was never at the forefront like Draupadi. She did not have a political power like Kunti, and she did not command armies like Bhagwan Krishna. And yet, she connected the worlds of men and the Nagas. She gave birth to Iravan, who became a war hero. She revealed secrets that turned the tide against Bhishma. She revived Arjun even when fate had turned against him. Ulupi shows us that not all heroes stand on the battlefield. Some guide, some heal, and some act from the shadows. And often, their names fade from memory, even though their actions decide the fate of the empires. So, this was the forgotten tale of Ulupi, the Serpent Princess, a story hidden beneath grand narrative of the Mahabharata. Perhaps when we remember only the great warriors, we lose sight of the quiet strength of those who shaped destiny in their own way. And so, as you think of Mahabharata next time, remember Ulupi, the woman who lived in the shadows, but without whom there might never have been a Pandav victory. This was Forgotten Indian Epics. Please subscribe, share, and join us again as we bring back stories lost in the sands of time. Until next time, Namaskar.